Good morning. All right, so this is your walkthrough of your work that was picked up for the weeks of April 28th through May 11th. We'll start by going into Mr. Tillish's fourth grade classroom, clicking on classwork, and at the top you have a new to-do list work menu that you can use digitally. This has also been included in your packet in a printed version. It is smaller. I added two slides per page. Parents, I'm sorry, it ended up being a lot smaller. Since I was trying to save paper. So that is the reason why that print is so small. However, within Google Classroom Kids, you have your weekly work menu for the weeks of April 28th through May 11th, and it's been updated to match the work that you are picking up today. And today is April 28th. So you have the printed paper copy of this work menu, and you also have the digital copy. Parents, I also emailed you a copy of this work menu as well in its presentation form. If you're having any problems update or opening it, please just let me know, and I can walk you through, or I can fix some mistake that maybe I made. One thing that I did add under PE links is Coach posted a YouTube playlist of some various videos of workout plans, activities, and even some of the games that you guys play during PE when we are in school. So that is one thing that I did add that was new to the weekly work menu as a digital link. Okay. So let's go over language arts first. You'll notice first off that all of your work came in a manila envelope this time. One thing that maybe I do recommend is as you are taking all of this work and you're trying to figure out what to do with it, I would add it to the appropriate folders as you're organizing all that information. Okay, so for anything language arts, go ahead and put it into the red folder. Anything writing like doodle loops or something, maybe you put it into your green writing folder. Doodle loops is the first thing that we'll talk about. You got a massive pack of doodle loops, okay? This was a miscommunication, but we're going to make it work, okay? You are not, let me repeat, not required to complete every one of these doodle loops. You'll notice you got doodle loops for week 1 and doodle loops for week 2, and I'm pretty sure there's close to about 15, 20 of these things tucked in all of these. So let me just refer to the doodle loop, see how many we actually do have. We got 1 with a plan page, 2 with a plan page, 3 with a plan page, 4 with a plan page, and 5 with a plan page. So it looks like you have 10 doodle loops between week 1 and week 2. You only need to pick 1 doodle loop for each week. So you got 5 choices here to choose from. And what you can do is just go ahead and pull the one out that you want to do. So if you want to do where am I, then pull out where am I and its plan page so that you can complete it. And then you can take this and put it into your language arts folder or writing folder, and you can save that for later. I will ask that you do just make a choice of 1 doodle loop per week. I do not mind which one that you've picked, but do pick 1 for week 1 and then pick 1 for week 2 as well. Okay, that way you only have 1 prompt to focus on. And if you look in the weekly work menu as we scroll down, I'm going to click on Tuesday. Looks like you have no doodle loops on Tuesday. That's today. And it looks like your first doodle loop starts tomorrow, Wednesday, April 29th. And you can see under doodle loops, it just says choose one prompt from the packet for the week. So you're choosing one prompt from the packet titled Week 1 Doodle Loops to keep you busy with narrative writing for the week. Okay? Alrighty. So that's doodle loops. Next, we have our next benchmark unit. The title of this unit is Earth Changes. We will be talking about earthquakes. So, Wade, and I know earthquakes is something right in your wheelhouse, buddy. So you may find lots of interest in that. For each week, we have a set of comprehension activities. The tutorials will be made by your three teachers, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Schnetz, and Mr. Tillish, yours truly. And between the three of us, we will be making the tutorials that go along with each one of the lessons. Okay, and remember to access your read aloud of anything that's in this book, you can go to Google Classroom and you find Earth Changes, right? Or under Virtual Learning Reading Comprehension over here on the left-hand side of your topics, Virtual Learning, you have a virtual read aloud of your articles from your Earth Changes book right here in this clever login. Okay, so click on that, and that will bring you to the read aloud. Okay, and then Mrs. Smith, we already have a YouTube tutorial posted for your first activity, lesson 2, page 1, and that looks like this. And so Mrs. Smith's already set up to walk you through that one. Okay, so you have benchmark week 1, and you also have benchmark week 2 with the same information except one less lesson. Okay, so you have 2 lessons for next week, and you have 3 lessons this week for benchmark. Okay. All right, next up, we can go over your reading passages for this week. That's your grammar, punctuation, comprehension, vocabulary development. We have a couple of them. We have What Planet Are You From? Birthday Party Games, Garage Sale Treasures, and Summer Can Feel So Long. Yes, how appropriate. I would like to show you on your weekly work menu here that your reading passages can be spaced out how you want. You can pick them in your weekly work menu. For today, it just says short reading passages. That means pick one of those short reading passages to read and answer the questions, talk about contractions, plurals, adjectives, syllables within words, and vocabulary. And you can choose whichever one that you would like to. As we continue scrolling through the days of the week, you notice you don't have reading passage on Wednesday, and you don't have a reading passage on Thursday, and you do have a reading passage on Friday. So you pick 2 for this week, and then you'll pick the next 2 for next week. Okay, so that is how your reading passages will work. I just left some choice for you guys to choose which ones you want to do and in what order. Okay, I will be posting at least one tutorial for these reading passages over the next couple of weeks. Okay, next up, we are diving into math. Mountain math this week, you have set 17. I made sure to include a photo of set 17 that included the entire problem. I missed out on part of number 11 last week. I'm sorry about that. So we have set 17 and its graphic organizer. And we have set 18 and its graphic organizer. And of course, you can also access each one of these sets from Google Classroom under Virtual Learning Math. in case you lose that piece of paper. Your math book lessons this week, there are a few of them. For this week, we have adding mixed numbers. Okay, those are those mixed numbers that have a whole number and a fraction. We have subtracting mixed numbers this week. We have decimals, boys and girls. We are moving into chapter 10, and chapter 10 is dealing with decimals. Decimals are another way of representing fractions, okay? Decimals are another way to talk about a number that is less than 1, but more than 0. So we have hundredths, we have decimals and fractions combined. I believe we're working with tenths. Okay, so tenths will come before hundredths. So these will be the lessons out of your math book. So hopefully you did not turn your math book in when you came to pick up this round of work. And if you did, we can work around that. I have digital copies uploaded to Google Classroom for you. All right, so there is your math book lessons. And then we have a few review worksheets. And those worksheets are for greatest common factor and for least common multiple, or number 4 from Mountain Math is greatest common factor, and number 5 in Mountain Math is least common multiple. Between these two and Mountain Math, we'll get lots of extra practice using operations within fractions, putting them in simplest form or finding common denominators to compare fractions. Okay, just reminding you of the purpose of greatest common factor and least common multiple. So we have those. And then for your daily grind, remember part of your daily grind is IXL. I have created 3 new IXL charts. And that means that there are an enormous amount of strands to be worked on here, okay? We're talking more than a page for each one of these. Do not worry about getting them all done. This is something that you can access within your daily grind daily for 15 to 20 minutes and start chipping away at each one of these strands, okay? Do not feel like you need to get them all done in 2 weeks. These accountability charts will last us through the remainder of the school year. And if you perhaps do complete all of the accountability charts, I do have more strands, but these are my recommended strands for you for each one of the chapters, chapter 8 and chapter 9 that we've already gone through. And they include strands from lessons that we did not go over in a YouTube tutorial or through virtual learning. So some of them may prove to be tricky. That's when you send me an email and say, Mr. Tillish, I need help. And I send you an email back saying, let's Zoom at whatever time works. Okay? So send me an email if you've got questions. And then you have a chapter 10 accountability chart. My little printer is running out of ink and I can't get any more ink right now. So that's why there's some little lines there. But for chapter 10 and decimals, you have strands that will support the math book lessons that we are going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So that is the run through of your work. Please do remember your daily grind. Please remember that you are doing the best that you can. You guys are doing an amazing job. I'm very impressed with your work habits. I'm very impressed with your ability to grow and want to do your best. I'm just overall proud of every single one of you. And families, I am so proud of you for helping your child along, sending the emails when you do have questions. I mean, it's really great to see that we are starting to get into a routine. And here we are, just a day away from May. This is kind of what I was hoping for, is that March and April were going to be tough, we're going to be a challenge. But by May, there is something that resembles a routine going on with your schoolwork. And so I can tell that that's happening based on the amount of questions that I'm starting to get, the comments, the concerns, even upwards of how I'm laying out the work. What can I do to make this experience? What can I do to make this month of May the most productive month, maybe out of March, April, and May? And if you have questions about, what can we do together to make the month of May really, really strong, please let me know. If you need some guidance, please let me know if I need some guidance, if I am steering into a different direction. But I know you guys are all doing an incredible job. And let's just keep those questions and concerns and communication going. The more you let me know that you're out there and you're doing okay, the better I'm feeling. It's not a situation where no news is good news. That's not the way I'm looking at this. So if you do have comments or concerns, questions, kids, send me an email. Parents, send me an email, and we can start to work out either going back and forth on Dojo or email, or we can set up a Zoom time. So I'm here for you guys. Keep on trucking, and I am looking forward to your questions and concerns. Okay, but for now, I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday at 11 o'clock on Zoom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon. All right.